Welcome to your weekly look inside Hilltopper Athletics. I'm joined by head men's basketball coach Andre Cook. We welcome sophomore guard Gabino Ramos to the show for the first time. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
First, coach, is a 1-1 road trip. What are your thoughts coming home?
It's always a tough road trip, Kingsville and to International. Physical, tough teams, play hard, well coached. We had our opportunities against Kingsville to win that game. Obviously, it goes to overtime. We had some good looks down the stretch, some good shots, some good execution. They got us in overtime. But to be able to bounce back, to go to International, who's fighting for their playoff lives, in a game where Sean Elke is in foul trouble in the first half. Blake Nielsen has 3 fouls in the first half. We had guys that had to come off the bench to help us win that game. Jalen Gordon hasn't played in weeks, and he got a lot of minutes in that game against International to help us win. So, tough win. I was proud of how we responded on Saturday to get that win.
After Thursday, with a lot of Lone Star Conference tournament implications, a lot of things, good execution, just sometimes the ball doesn't go through.
Yeah.
On those quick turnarounds, what's your mindset and mentality going into the next game?
They feel bad. We all talked after Thursday night's game. They were in the locker room. They're upset. They wanted to win really bad. So to dwell on that we're all upset. We're all hurt. But they all know we have to play Saturday. So, I say, we can talk about it, see what we need to do better. The sun's going to come up on Friday, and we have to go to Laredo and try to figure out how to get this win. And that's what they did. That's what we have to do in those back-to-backs.
Gabby, after that loss in Kingsville, what was it like in the locker room?
Real quiet for a while. Everybody just nobody wants to lose, obviously, but, games that come down the stretch like that, and obviously going to overtime, those hurt that much worse, especially in that situation with the rankings and our divisional standings and conference standings. So, it wasn't an easy one to take, but took it and came back Saturday.
After a tough loss, how do you guys approach that next game on Saturday?
With a sense of desperation almost. With what we're fighting for, we can't afford any losing streaks. So, when we lose one, we got to bounce back soon and quick because these games are right after one right after another. So we just got to keep going and bounce back.
Your role's really increased this year. After no game started this year, you've been a starter for the majority of the year. What were you working on in the off season coming into this year?
I would just say my overall game, but when you come off a year, off a freshman year, I'll say, a little bit more experience in the system now. I kind of know what to look for, know where to look for, my shots and my abilities to attack and create and stuff like that. So, obviously my overall game, but, just kind of working on where I can get my shots within what we run.
You guys have a really talented young core with you and Blake being sophomores and Sean, who's really blended well into this system. What's your chemistry and what's your guys' relationship been? You seem to have blossomed so early, but you hope to have so much more time together.
Oh yeah, it's really fun to think about what we have in the future. Especially with Blake and Sean, real young guys, but I think we have a real good chance this year too. We're going into a conference tournament. I think we can win the NCAA tournament. We think we can make some noise. So that's what we got to take care of first. But it's definitely exciting thinking about the future with the young guys we got, and even not necessarily the young guys we have, but we still have players with eligibility that are able to come back next year and help us win. So it's focused on this year, but it's definitely exciting thinking about the years to come.
This year you have a tough week this week, 3 games at home. What's it like going to this homestand at this time of the year, where you have literally you can't afford to drop anything else?
Exhausting.
Yeah.
But, the calendar's going to flip to February this week. That's just the way that it is. That's the way that the schedule is. Playing our rival from San Antonio, Battle of Saints. Coach Selznak and Coach Meyer have been going against those guys for all these years. So that's exciting. We're home. 3 of the first 4 weeks since school started, we've been on the road. So it's good to be home for these next 2 weeks. No traveling. Guys can get to class, for the full weeks, and we can just be in Austin. So tough week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But so Tyler's doing the same thing. DBU's doing the same thing. Mary's is doing the same thing. All in this little cluster this week.
Lastly, you just put an idea in my head. Coach talked about you've been on the road so much. 3, 4 weeks. you've been on the road. What's it been like adjusting to this new semester and getting started again while still, remember, having to stay poised because you're in the middle of a basketball season?
Right, definitely tough. Especially the conference we're in. You go on the road. It's not one easy game. We go into everyone expecting a fist fight. We come into games expecting it to be close. So just tough games like that, times like that, especially 3 out of the first 4 weeks, are definitely tough, mentally and physically. But now we got a little 5-game homestand, so we need to take care of them here.
Coach and Gab, we appreciate both of your times, and don't miss any of those games on the homestand. You can catch all of them live on GoHillToppers.com. Appreciate you guys coming on.
Awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Woo.
You got to see his suitcase. That's what he's used to packing.
Oh, yeah.
Going early, he is a microwave who gets hot fast and he stays hot. Ball inside, that's a finish by Elkins.